Good morning. Breathing. We're going to talk about breathing and your health. It's all about oxygen, especially during the conscious state. We've talked about this in our other series, and now we're going to do it live on a tight 10-minute program. It's going to be broadcast on Comcast in the weeks to come. Long neck, loose neck. Long neck, loose neck. And if you have windows, open them up a little bit, get some oxygen in the room. We do use up the oxygen, and we blow out carbon dioxide. And it's carbon monoxide in the industrialized world that's not so good. Carbon dioxide goes to the trees, they give us oxygen, we take the oxygen, we have a really symbiotic, cyclical thing. Long neck, loose shoulders. We want to have a healthy, evolving breath. There are a couple ways to do it. Having the long neck, loose neck is very important. Having the loose shoulders. If you don't have that, if you use your shoulders, that activates the fear center. That activates the amygdala. When you're afraid, you don't want that kind of breath ever. You want to iron that one out. And we're going to start with the back breath. Big old backside of that diaphragm is pulled up. And that's a big breath. And we want to hold that breath for a couple of seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, and ha, 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 ha. You can spend some time breathing in. Let half out. Long neck, loose neck. Open that back. That's part of when people have COPD, they do a triangulated breathing in emergencies. There's a reason for that. People with COVID-19 are put on their tummy to get that back breathing. But we can get it during our breathing exercises because we want to fill up those lungs, let the capillaries wake up, do their job. You want to breathe in with what you want. A greater power to come into I want the DNA God. I want to fuel that DNA God. What does that mean? Oxygen enables the fuel, the ATP, the nuclear level energy that fuels everything that a healthy cell wants and needs. Right? And we can lift those arms because we have that diaphragm is attached to the 10th and 11th ribs, and in the back it's attached to even more. So we get a lot in the back. We actually pull that diaphragm sucks that area, and it's amazing. And we can we collapse when we laugh as hard as we do or cry. And so both of those are exhalation type things that when we exhale, when we get low oxygen signals, it tells the brain and the body to, get rid of the junk we don't need. Antioxidants are signaled for, even in a healthy conscious state. And then we have these on the 10th and 11th ribs. That's a big breath, right? It's hard to get that breath without lifting without lifting your arms. So we can use our back breath, lift them up, our ha, 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 ha. When we pull that in, we have to bring it back up. That's our sternum. It pops up, right? So we want to combine breath with function. And one way to do it when we're sitting or just doing it kind of passively, remember, long neck, loose jaw. Don't forget the loose jaw either. I call it, in singing, opera singers call it the village idiot jaw. Singing is a way to press oxygen into the lungs and vibrate, get free energy. There's so much to understand about healthy breathing. It's fun. It enables hyperfunction. That means a lot of function. It enables the flow of artistry, of doing the dishes, of sweeping the floor, of going for a walk, going for a run, jumping rope, etc. We have the surface area of a tennis court in women. That's a lot of surface area to transfer oxygen to the bloodstream. It's an all or nothing transfer. Takes 2 or 3 seconds. It likes to unload all of the oxygen. It's an all or nothing kind of situation. It wants to take it all. It wants to lock and load. Red blood cells want to lock and load all the oxygen that's la 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 la. I'll do that with a tighter jaw. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hear how free that is? That you don't the jaw frees the flow. So if you got a tight jaw, try to untighten it. Let's do some cognitive breathing. We breathe in with hope. Yes, I want more hope. You breathe in with what you want more of. And I wouldn't go for money and such. I would go with things that build community. I just recently changed my name back to my mother's maiden name. I'm related to Rutherford B. Hayes, as she's told me many times, and my late husband's name, a Canadian who was a great influence in my life. That's my new name. I better get used to it. I need to breathe into that name and out with the old name, or out with things I want to practice, already have and want to practice more. Forgiveness. So there are tips and cognitive tips. Breathe in with God, as it were, or nature, or the DNA God, however you want to say it, or growth, health. When you breathe in with health, you're controlling it though. I want health. Gimme, gimme. When you breathe in with God or the DNA God, it's kind of out of our control, right? So that opens our mind, which also opens some musculature. That's what we want to do. The DNA God, we're kind of controlling it by giving it the oxygen. Once the DNA God is, all the cells are going tick, 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 the things in life start to happen that we can't possibly predict, or miracles, as it were, or serendipity. The real God, for me, is the deepest breath. Providence. Words like providence. It's kind of a mantra. It's kind of a transcendental meditation type idea. But we pair it with breath, and we pair it with healthy breathing, oxygen. Hope. I can't control. I can only hope, right? Or an improved personality. I can't really control my personality, but I can breathe into it, and then it does its own thing. So we want to breathe in with things that we can't really control. Prosperity. I felt some control there. Blessings. I can't control blessings. So we want to breathe in with things that we can't, that we want, but we can't control. And that's a part of the brain, a network that we don't practice so much anymore. It's kind of in the religious thing. And if you're religious, breathe into the religion. When we look up in the altar and we wait for answers, we are not controlling that. And so when we're not, so this is a very controlling thing, and it shuts us down. It's like a hammer and a saw and everything. And then when we breathe out, we want to breathe out with good things we're already doing. Helping others. I want to keep doing that. That's the network I want to maintain, is helping others. Breathe in with what I can't control, but I want. Providence. And breathe out with what I have. Forgiveness. Help me to continue to forgive. Keep me forgiving, and let the other stuff just fall away. Let the resentments and bitternesses fall away. That's a breathing lesson. Long neck, loose jaw. Breathe in with what we can't control, but we want. Breathe out with what we have and we want to keep. Have a great day.